we're going to start off talking about Facebook groups. So why Facebook, right? Although, the jury is out as to how long we're going to be hanging with Meta, given some of their leanings community service wise, but we're going to keep going. They are the granddaddy, I say, of social media. I would submit that social media grew and developed and exploded on their watch, and partly because of their tenure. So, especially when you're looking at the consumer market of a certain age demographic, there's another one called TikTok. We're not going to talk about TikTok today. That appeals to a younger demographic, but Facebook is still the bulk of where it's at. Millions and millions of users, widespread adoption. Discoverability. When you are talking about a public community, or any community or presence at all, millions of users can find your community and your page. And it also garners support from the search engines. And there's a whole search engine philosophy. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole, but just know it helps in some cases to have discoverability through the search engines. And the final reason is direct access to your ideal audience. There's already segmentation deeply embedded in Facebook. So you can go to Facebook and literally, based on just like when Moni was mentioning, that you have to decide where your ideal community members are. And so Facebook is one of those places that you can go and search and see what groups are already out there that contain the folks that you want to be part of your community. So, many of you are likely in Facebook groups. That's probably a question I should have asked, but perhaps you haven't ever looked at it from the standpoint of creating your Facebook group. It's a pretty easy process, but some of those exercises that we did earlier, where we think about who our group is, what our purpose is, what our rules are, all of that is going to come into play when you're actually creating your group. So I am going to do a quick demo of this. Let's see. Moni, can we pull in the other window? We're just going to show a couple of the steps. Very, very easy. So if your company already has a page, if your company does not have a page on Facebook, I highly recommend you do so. Very easy. You go to your 9 grid. You see all the things that you can create over here on the side. You create your group. Okay, that's interesting. This is what happens when you try to do a live demo. Let's see if I can create it as me. Try it again. Yes. Okay. So you're literally going to pick a group name. We are going to look to do this as if we are our coaching company. So Flourish Wellness. And we're going to call our group Mindful Living with Flourish. Okay. Now, one of the things that you have to think through when you're looking to create your group that we didn't really talk about when we were defining and shaping is, do we want, particularly in Facebook, do we want it to be a private group or do we want it to be a public group? Here's where some of your strategy comes into play. You can make it a private group and only allow admittance to folks who are already part of your network, who already attended your webinar, who already are subscribed to your newsletter. That becomes another benefit of aligning themselves with your brand. Or you can be whosoever will. and you can make it public. It's searchable. Anyone who wants to join can do so. This is something that you can change later. So you can start off as a public group. It gets to a certain amount, it gets unruly, and you can make it private so that you can be more restrictive in who you allow in it. So I'm going to start off this as a private group because I don't want a whole bunch of people finding it. Ooh, this is cool, and actually join the group. Um, there is also, on top of it being a public or a private group, you also have visibility. So even though it's a private group, you can also have people be able to find the group, which again contributes to its growth or whatever, or you can make it hidden. So only the members of the group can find it. So I'm going to make it hidden for right now. Then you also have the ability, once you create your group, you can instantly invite folks to join. We're not going to do that right now, but you will notice that you have a preview of what your group is going to look like. Once I create, then I have the ability to add all of those things that we outlined in our framework, what my group is about, who's allowed to join, all of those kinds of things. Okay. So that's quick and easy setting up your group, and then you're off to the races. Then you're able to manage, um, view member requests. You're able to assign, we were talking about the moderators and administrators. All of those things are the things that you would manage once you have your group up and running. Okay. Here's your settings really quickly. So these are all of the things that you can do. You can have it so that new members have to introduce themselves. Um, I'm sorry, you can do a message to new members. So they'll be able to see that when they come in. You can set your description. You can have the ability for folks to invite with the link, only administrators, all of those things. You can change the colors so that they align with your brand. Um, Flourish has like a green logo there. Save. All of those things are what you are allowed to do when you're setting up your group.
Can you set up like payment? Can you do like paid membership through Facebook group?
I don't think you can.
Okay.
I think that if you made it a paid group, you would have to establish the payment outside of the platform,
Okay.
then be able to allow admittance that way. Yeah, like they would only, especially if you have it hidden and
Mm-hmm.
private, because people can't just find it.
Right.
Only be able to find it if you're a member. Because I've been part of webinars where part of your admittance, even as like on a VIP level that you paid, then you get the link to the private VIP group.
Got it.
Yeah, so it's a good question. Okay, so Flourish has their group open. They can start sending invitations out and all of that. So, in terms of best practices from a Facebook engagement standpoint, we're going to go back to our slide deck.
Okay.
Thank you. There's three things. And again, this is a reiteration of what Moni mentioned earlier. You want to be consistent in posting to your group. So you don't want to have 100, 200, 5,000 people and they never hear anything. As you all are aware, there are a ton of groups in on Facebook, and so you want one of yours to be active, and you want to cultivate folks coming back to your group and checking and seeing what's going on that day, that week, what have you. So having themes and creating some predictable content certainly helps, because the members we know Wednesday is the day that we're going to get our wellness tip for in Flourish's instance. So folks are going to come for that. Meditation Monday, those kinds of things. You want to have different things. And I did a couple of examples coming up. Interactive elements, polling, kind of what we've been doing on this workshop. You want to make sure that you're doing polling, having some live sessions, spotlighting members to be able to boost that participation. People want to feel, It's a little bit more challenging when it is an online community, but you want folks to feel a part. And so, as much as participation can be encouraged, asking questions, post a picture, post, answer this question of the day, that helps to build the community and folks get to know each other. And then making sure I mentioned designating roles within your group. So having some active moderation also helps to, excuse me, helps to encourage participation amongst the participants. You don't want to have to rely on your members to be the ones who are starting the conversation and continuing the participation. Okay, so we have a practice exercise for you all. Imagine that you're Maya. I see your comment, Kristen. I'm going to read that in a second. Imagine that you're Maya from Flourish Wellness. What's one post, prompt, or live event that you'd create this week to boost group engagement? So drop your post or event idea in the chat now. So we're all familiar with wellness people do. Um, so if you were Maya or advising Maya on what she should do this week, just brainstorm on some thoughts that she may want to do in her Mindful Living with Flourish group.
Mm.
Take a couple minutes to do that.